Well, good morning, and we're back at one of our favourite places, the railway station this morning, the Runaway Bistro. Pavel is down here, and the young ladies who attend to every need, coffee, cakes, croissant, even sandwiches and porridge at this hour of the morning, if you're so inclined. It's been some time since we've been down here, and perhaps one of the things that is a bit worrying is that the issue of whether trains stop at Lewes on November the 5th. It seems a little way away, November the 5th, doesn't it? But of course, planning starts about now in terms of the transport. And once again, the trains will go through without stopping after something like 5:30 in the evening. There are some trains at Falmer. You can get a bus, but you can't get it on the high street, of course. You have to get it down somewhere near the tunnel. So the whole transportation system is disrupted, and for why, I have no idea, none whatsoever. I do remember that when I first came to Lewes in 1990, it would have been 91, 92, that the bonfire societies put the heads of each of the local councillors on a spike as part of the mainstream display, because the authority to monitor bonfire had been taken away by the council and handed over to the police. And then we went through a torrid time when some lady kept on announcing where the toilets were, right in the middle of prayers and so on. And eventually that straightened itself out. Apparently the main argument by the police and the authorities is that there are 7 bonfire societies, I think, and there is no overall authority to deal with. I thought there was a bonfire council, but I suppose really that it has no authority over the individual societies themselves, and also that unlike a football match, where perhaps we would have crowds travelling by train to the Amex Stadium to watch the Seagulls in an evening, is that you know more or less how many people are going to a football match, and we have no idea how many people are going to come to November the 5th to bonfire. So there you are. Plan well ahead. November the 5th, if you stay for that extra drink without catching the train, you won't be able to get off at Lewes, whether you're a resident or not. Sometimes it's better to try and take that day off if you possibly can. Anyway, a couple of things which I want to reiterate, because I've been doing some burrowing in the background. The issue of whether we should be merged with Eastbourne, and when I say merged, is having the joint executive, really is one that needs to be addressed by the next council. The major problem, of course, with this council is that they are almost all newbies. There are only a few old hands that were either re-elected or came back. And as a consequence, they are easily led. It looks, and we shall watch with some interest in the next 10 days or so, how the coalition, which is a combined force of Greens, Lib Dems, Labour and Independents, managed to put their coalition together to challenge the Conservatives for leadership of the council. But what I'm fearful of is that all we're going to do is to change the name, because I have now consistently asked for a response. Where does the coalition stand on the cabinet system? And just to remind you, as if you needed reminding, the cabinet system calls for the council leader and a small cabal of 4 or 5 people, along with the chief executive, to make all the major decisions. They don't really have to go back to the council. Well, they do, but they by that time, they've got their 3-line whip in place, so the hands go up. There's nothing democratic about it at all. Also, the issue of whether, in fact, they tell anybody anything raises its head. So while the cabal, while the cabinet system exists and continues to flourish, we've got a democratic problem, in my view. Secondly, the merger. Is it working? I call it a merger, I suppose it's an association. Is it working? Because to many citizens, including me, the treatment that is handed out by the council, by its officers, is diabolical. It is inefficient. It lacks any sort of compassion. It's not doing its job. The only thing that they do is threaten and bully older people to make sure that they've paid any monies that are owed. That doesn't seem to me to be a very efficient council. Surely its duty is to deliver services, and it ain't doing that. Thirdly, should we have a council, should we have support from the councillors, the elected body, for a system, an office system, if you like, which runs the day-to-day thing, that is mainly composed of people from Eastbourne, executives from Eastbourne, and it is clearly inefficient. Should we actually put up with it? Now, I've asked, how do you stand on the cabinet? For the moment, a lot of people, a lot of those councillors who are newly elected and the parties say, oh, no, we don't want the cabinet, it's anti-democratic. But if they win power, what are they going to say then? We need it put in black and white, what their feeling is about the cabinet system and what they're going to do about it. I have asked about their feeling of the inefficiency of the council. Do they agree that it's inefficient? And if so, what they're going to do about it, and if not, justify it. Black and white. Policy decision. And thirdly, the merger with Eastbourne. Is it working? Is it a good idea? Should we maintain it? Yes or no? Policy decision. Those three things need to be made clear from the group, if you like, the group of different political parties, a confederation, not a rainbow alliance, confederation ready to take over the reins. Many would welcome that decision. I am sitting on the sidelines. If it's more of the same under a different name, why bother? Democracy is dead. So it is incumbent upon the pretenders to say exactly what their position is on those three key issues. The big problem with the officers, if you like, in the executive, is they simply do not reply to anybody, not even the non-cabal councillors. They don't reply. And so great inequalities, inequities, in fact, injustices are taking place because they simply do not reply. If that's going to be the case from a new council, a new cabinet, then thank you. I hope that you fail, because it's easier to deal with the devil we know than the devil we don't. If, in fact, you will answer those questions and give us a policy statement, then I, for one, will give you support. And I know that others will too. All right, that's it for this morning. Bit sharp, right on. Here's the centre of activity that we'll be looking at. And we'll just make sure that we're keep probing until we get answers and until some action is taken. So until tomorrow morning, Keith Hayes, Mirador Television, Toodle Pip.